Welcome back to Talk About It in English. Let's fix your Monday morning conversation skills.
There is one question that makes English learners feel boring and stuck every single week, and I bet you will face it tomorrow.
Imagine it is Monday, 8:55 a.m. You are at the coffee machine. Your energetic colleague walks in and asks, "So, how was your weekend?" You freeze. You just watched Netflix and slept. You feel embarrassing compared to their exciting life.
I used to hate this moment. When I first started working in an office, I would actually lie and say I went hiking, just so I didn't have to admit I spent 2 days in my pajamas eating cereal.
Today, we stop lying and we stop saying nothing special. I will teach you the one tiny detail rule to make even a lazy weekend sound interesting.
It is such a specific kind of pressure, isn't it? You walk into work, your brain is still half asleep, and suddenly you are expected to perform. You are expected to have this amazing story about mountain climbing or visiting a 5-star restaurant.
Exactly. And the problem for most learners is that they think their English is the problem. They think, oh, I don't have the vocabulary to describe my weekend. But actually, the problem is usually a social one. You feel like your life is boring, so you shut down the conversation.
Right. You say the 2 words that kill every conversation. You say, nothing special.
Nothing special. It sounds harmless, doesn't it? But to a native speaker, or really to anyone trying to be friendly, nothing special sounds like a stop sign. It signals that you do not want to talk. It creates this awkward silence where the other person thinks, oh, okay, sorry for asking.
And that is the worst way to start your week. You want to build connections with your colleagues, not shut them out. But what if you really did do nothing? What if you really just sat on the sofa?
That is what we are going to solve today, because here is the secret. Native speakers love doing nothing. We love lazy weekends. We just talk about them differently. We don't say nothing special. We use specific phrases that make doing nothing sound intentional and relaxing.
Intentional is a great word there. It changes the vibe from, I am boring and have no friends, to, I needed a break and I took care of myself.
Exactly. So let's start with the first major shift. This is a vocabulary shift, but it is also a mindset shift. Instead of saying it was boring or nothing special, I want you to use the phrase, it was pretty low-key actually.
It was pretty low-key. I love that phrase. It is so useful.
Let's break it down. Low-key. L-O-W-K-E-Y. In this context, low-key means quiet, relaxed, and not busy, but it has a positive feeling. It suggests that you chose to have a quiet time.
If I ask you, Lily, how was your weekend? And you say, it was boring, I feel bad for you. I think, oh, poor Lily. But if you say, it was pretty low-key, I think, oh, nice, that sounds lovely.
Exactly. It invites the other person to agree with you. Let's practice the pronunciation. It's not low-key with the stress at the end. It's usually balanced or slightly stressed on low, low-key.
Low-key.
And we often add the word actually at the end to soften it and make it sound conversational. It was pretty low-key actually.
It was pretty low-key actually.
Now, James, let's role play this. I am the energetic colleague. I come in with my coffee. Hey, James, good weekend? Do anything fun?
It was pretty low-key actually.
See? Immediately, I don't feel awkward. I feel relaxed. I might even say, oh, I'm jealous. I was running around all weekend. You have turned your boring weekend into something desirable.
It creates a connection instead of a wall. But surely we can't just stop there. If I just say it was pretty low-key and stop talking, it is still a bit short, right?
You are right. That's just the opener. That is the frame. To really master this conversation, you need the second part of our strategy today, the one tiny detail rule.
The one tiny detail rule. Tell us about that.
Okay, the mistake most learners make is that they try to summarize their entire 48 hours. They think they need to give a report. Saturday morning, I woke up, then I cleaned my room, then I ate lunch, then I watched TV.
That sounds like a police report or a diary entry for a beginner class. It is factual, but it is not conversational.
Exactly. It's boring because it's a list. Nobody connects with a list. People connect with details. So the rule is, do not list your schedule. Instead, zoom in on one specific, tiny thing you did, even if it seems small.
Can you give us an example? Let's say I watch TV for 10 hours, which, let's be honest, I definitely did last Saturday.
Okay, so the list version would be, I just watched TV. It's vague. The one tiny detail version would be, I binge watched the new season of Stranger Things.
Ah, okay, so you are naming the show.
Yes. Naming the show gives us something to talk about. Even if I haven't seen it, I can ask, oh, is that good? I have heard about it. You have given me a hook.
What if I didn't watch a popular show? What if I just watched random YouTube videos?
You can still be specific. You could say, I fell down a YouTube rabbit hole about cooking pasta.
Fell down a rabbit hole. That is a great idiom. It means you started watching one video, then clicked another, and suddenly 3 hours have passed.
Exactly. It is relatable. Everyone has done that. So instead of I watched YouTube, you share the tiny detail, I watched cooking videos.
Okay, what about chores? Sometimes my weekend is just laundry and cleaning. That is definitely not interesting.
It can be. Again, don't list everything. Don't say, I cleaned my house. Say, I finally organized my closet, or I finally fixed that broken shelf.
I see. So you are picking one specific victory or one specific activity. I finally organized my closet sounds satisfying. I cleaned my house just sounds like work.
Precisely. Let's look at why this works psychologically. When you give one tiny detail, it paints a picture. If you say, I just stayed home, I see a blank wall. If you say, I spent the whole Saturday trying to bake sourdough bread, I see a picture of you in the kitchen, maybe with flour on your face. It makes you a human being.
And it takes the pressure off me to be exciting. I don't need to be exciting. I just need to be specific. Baking bread isn't exciting like skydiving, but it is a specific detail that we can talk about.
Right. And here's the best part. You only need one. You don't need to tell me about Sunday if you tell me about Saturday. You don't need to tell me about the laundry if you tell me about the bread. Just pick the most mentionable thing.
I think that is a relief for a lot of people. You don't need to account for every hour. Just give me one headline.
So we have the opener. It was pretty low-key, actually. And we have the detail. But to make this sound truly natural, we need to upgrade your verbs.
Oh yes, the vocabulary of laziness. This is my favorite category of English words.
If you look at a textbook, you learn I slept or I relaxed. These are fine. They are correct. But they are a bit stiff. If you want to sound like a working professional who is enjoying their downtime, you need phrasal verbs.
I think the number one verb for this situation is catch up on.
Yes, catch up on. This implies that you were behind on something and you used the weekend to get back to normal. It turns laziness into productivity.
So instead of saying, I slept a lot, what do you say?
You say, I caught up on some sleep.
I caught up on some sleep. That sounds so much better. It sounds like you are a hard worker who needed rest.
Exactly. You can also catch up on housework or catch up on my reading.
Or catch up on life admin.
Oh, that is a great one. Life admin. Tell everyone what that means.
Life admin is all those boring little tasks you have to do to survive. Paying bills, booking a dentist appointment, calling the bank, sorting out your insurance. It's not work for your job, but it is administration for your life.
It is a very common term for people our age. If you say, I mostly just caught up on some life admin, every adult in the room will nod and say, oh, I need to do that too.
It's the ultimate relatable answer. Okay, so catch up on is the first one. What is the second one?
The second one is chill out. You probably know this, but are you using it? I just chilled out at home.
It's very casual. Is it okay for the office?
For the coffee machine, absolutely. Maybe not in a formal meeting with the CEO, but with your colleagues, yes. I just chilled out with the dog. I just chilled out and read a book. It means you relaxed, but it sounds cooler than I relaxed.
And the third one? This is one of my personal favorites, but it might be a bit more British.
It is very British, but Americans understand it and have similar versions. The verb is to potter around.
To potter around. P-O-T-T-E-R. Like Harry Potter, but a verb.
To potter around means to do little unimportant jobs in a relaxed way. You are not rushing. You might wash a few dishes, then water the plants, then move a book from one table to another. You are busy, but you are not stressed.
It is the best way to spend a Sunday, just pottering around the garden.
If you are in the US, you might hear messing around or puttering around with a U. But pottering is such a descriptive word. It says, I was home, I was moving, but I wasn't doing anything heavy.
So if I say I spent Saturday just pottering around the garden, it sounds lovely. It paints that picture again.
Exactly. So let's review our 3 lazy verbs. We have catch up on, chill out, and potter around.
I want to challenge everyone listening to pick one of those verbs. Which one fits your last weekend best? Did you catch up on sleep? Did you chill out? Or did you potter around?
Thinking about which verb fits your life is how you remember it. Don't just memorize the list. Visualize yourself doing it.
Before we put this all together into a full conversation, I want to mention one more thing. We talked about how to answer, but a conversation is a tennis match. You hit the ball over the net. You can't just hold the ball.
That is such a good analogy. If you answer, it was low-key, I watched TV, and then stop, you are holding the ball. The conversation dies. You need the pivot.
The pivot. This is how you turn the spotlight off yourself and put it on the other person.
And it is simple. The universal pivot phrase is, how about you?
But we can make it a bit smoother, right? We can wrap it in a nice sentence.
Yes, the structure I like to teach is comment on your own weekend plus pivot. So you say, it was exactly what I needed. How about you?
It was exactly what I needed. I like that. It validates your lazy weekend. You are saying, I am happy I did nothing.
Yes, it was pretty low-key actually. I just caught up on some sleep. It was exactly what I needed. How about you? Did you get up to anything nice?
Did you get up to anything nice? That is a great phrasing. Get up to just means do, but it is friendlier.
What did you do can sound a bit like an interrogation. Did you get up to anything nice suggests you hope they had a good time.
It's softer. It opens the door for them to tell you about their hiking or their fancy dinner, or to admit that they also just pottered around.
And that is the goal. You want to reach that moment where you both realize you are just normal people trying to survive the week. That is where the connection happens.
I think we are ready to put this all together. But before we do the full simulation, I just want to say, if you are finding these specific phrases helpful, if you are thinking, yes, this is exactly what I needed to say, please take a second to subscribe to the channel.
We create these lessons based on the real conversations you face every day. We want to help you talk about your life, not just study grammar rules. So if you want to speak more naturally next week, hit that subscribe button. It really helps us know what kind of content you want.
Okay, let's do this. Monday morning simulation.
All right, I'm going to set the scene. It's Monday. The fluorescent lights are buzzing. The coffee machine is making that grinding noise. I'm your colleague, Sarah. I have a lot of energy. You are you. You are tired. You had a lazy weekend.
I'm ready. I have my coffee cup in hand.
Hey, James, good morning.
Hey, Sarah. Good morning.
So, how was your weekend? Did you do anything exciting?
It was pretty low-key, actually. I was exhausted from last week, so I mostly just caught up on some sleep and binge-watched that new cooking show on Netflix.
Oh, the one with the crazy cakes? I've seen the trailer for that.
Yeah, that's the one. It is strangely addictive. Honestly, it was exactly what I needed. Just a total brain break. How about you? Did you get up to anything nice?
Oh, I went to my sister's wedding. It was chaotic but fun.
Wow, a wedding. That sounds amazing, but tiring.
And scene. That was perfect.
It felt so much easier than trying to invent a story. I just told the truth, but I used the right structures.
Let's look at what you did there. First, you deflected the pressure. I asked, did you do anything exciting? You didn't say no. You said, it was pretty low-key, actually.
I reframed it immediately. I lowered the expectations.
Then you gave the reason. I was exhausted from last week. This is a great addition. It makes you relatable. Everyone understands being tired from work.
Then I used the phrasal verb caught up on sleep.
And you gave the one tiny detail, that new cooking show. You didn't just say, I watched TV. And what happened? I immediately reacted to the show.
You knew the show, so we had a little moment there. The one with the crazy cakes. Even if you hadn't seen it, you would have asked, what cooking show? It gave us something to talk about.
And then you did the pivot. It was exactly what I needed. How about you?
And then you told me about your sister's wedding. And now, suddenly, the pressure is off me completely. Now I just have to listen to your story about the wedding.
Which is much easier than talking about yourself. That is the secret of conversation. If you get the other person talking, you are winning.
You know, there is one small trap we should mention. What happens if the other person asks a follow-up question that you aren't ready for?
For example,
Well, say I mentioned the cooking show, and you say, oh, I love cooking. Do you cook often? And suddenly I panic, because I don't know the vocabulary for cooking.
that is a valid fear. But remember the low-key frame. You have already established that you were being lazy. It is perfectly okay to say, "Oh, I wish. I am terrible at cooking. I just like watching other people do it."
That is a great answer. You don't have to be an expert on the topic you bring up. You can just be an observer.
Exactly. Honesty usually works best. The goal isn't to impress them, it's to relate to them.
What if we flip the situation slightly? What if you did do something, but it wasn't a big event? Like maybe you just went for a walk in the park. Is that low-key or is that something else?
That sits right in the middle. I think you can still use low-key for that. It was pretty low-key. I just went for a nice long walk in the park and got some fresh air.
That works perfectly. It's not exciting, but it is a tiny detail.
The key is the adjective. A nice long walk or a quick walk. Adjectives add the color. I went for a walk is a fact. I went for a lovely sunny walk is a story.
It's the difference between black and white TV and color TV. The facts are the same, but the feeling is different.
I want to address one more specific situation, the life admin weekend. We mentioned it briefly, but this is so common. You spend Saturday cleaning, grocery shopping, fixing the car. Monday morning comes and you feel like you didn't even have a weekend.
Yes, you feel tired, but you didn't have fun. How do you frame that positively?
You can say, "It was a bit productive actually. I finally got around to sorting out my apartment."
Got around to. There is another great phrasal verb.
To get around to doing something. It means you finally did something you've been delaying for a long time.
I finally got around to fixing the sink. I finally got around to calling my grandmother.
It implies a sense of achievement. So even if you didn't have fun, you can feel proud. It wasn't exactly relaxing, but I got a lot done.
It wasn't exactly relaxing, but I got a lot done. That is a very professional adult answer. Your boss will probably love hearing that.
True, it shows you are responsible.
So we have covered the lazy weekend, low-key, chill out, the media weekend, binge-watched, tiny detail, and the productive weekend, got around to life admin.
That covers about 90% of weekends, I think.
Unless you actually went skydiving.
If you went skydiving, you don't need our help. You just say, "I went skydiving," and everyone will be amazed. This video is for the other 51 weekends of the year.
The normal weekends, the real weekends.
I want to give you one more pro tip for the one tiny detail. It works for food, too.
Oh, food is the universal language.
If you really can't think of anything you did, maybe you didn't watch TV, you didn't clean, you just stared at the wall, talk about what you ate.
Everyone eats.
It was pretty low-key. I found this amazing taco place downtown. Or even, I ordered the best pizza on Saturday night.
Food counts as an activity?
In small talk, absolutely. Saying I ate a great pizza is infinitely better than saying nothing special. It triggers senses. Everyone knows what pizza tastes like. They can say, "Oh, what toppings?" or "Where from?"
It triggers an emotional response. Nothing special triggers a dead end.
Exactly. So if your mind goes blank, just ask yourself, what was the best thing I put in my mouth this weekend? Talk about that.
That is a foolproof backup plan. I had a really good coffee on Sunday morning. Boom, conversation started.
So let's recap the whole strategy because we want you to be ready for tomorrow morning.
Step 1, the mindset shift. Don't apologize for resting. Native speakers love downtime.
Step 2, the opener. It was pretty low-key actually. Use the word actually to make it soft.
Step 3, the one tiny detail. Do not list your schedule. Pick one show, one meal, or one chore. I binge-watched, show name, or I finally got around to task.
Step 4, use lazy verbs like catch up on, chill out, or potter around.
And step 5, the pivot. It was exactly what I needed. How about you? Did you get up to anything nice?
If you follow that script, you will never feel awkward at the coffee machine again. You will sound like a confident, relatable person who just happens to speak English.
And you might actually learn something interesting about your colleague's weekend too.
Here is your challenge for this week. It is a simple one. Tomorrow is Monday, or the next time you go to work or school, I want you to use the phrase, "It was pretty low-key."
Even if you climbed Mount Everest?
Well, maybe not then, but if you had a normal weekend, use the phrase. See how it changes the feeling of the conversation. Watch the other person relax.
And try to add just one tiny detail, even if it's just, I had a great bagel.
If you can do that, you are winning the small talk game.
Conversation is a skill, not a magic trick. You build it one pattern at a time.
Thanks for joining us today. Go enjoy your low-key week, and we will see you in the next episode.
Bye, everyone.